I think there's something you should know about me. I just happen to...
Outstanding. Let's go bowling. Wow!
Hey Aussie gamers and honorary Aussie gamers from around the world, welcome to episode 89. Today is Friday the 7th of August 2015 and you're listening to the Aussie Gamers Express podcast, the podcast that would like to take a short moment to remember the fallen DinkleBot.
The Hive haven't been on Earth in centuries. That wizard came from the moon.
Short moment.
That'll do. I'm your host, LewkOne, and joining me as usual is my great friend Red. How are you?
I'm fantastic.
That's wonderful. And before we get this show going, let's go through the week in preview. So first up, we'll do Game Talk. Then after that, we'll go through this week's news. And in the news, we've got playing Fallout 3 as a baby, Fallout 4 level cap detailed, deployed Dinklage for the last time. We'll explain that a bit further in the news. Then we've got Mafia 3 details, a PlayStation Plus vote to play coming soon, and also backwards compatibility information for something very interesting. After that, what's that sound? Then we'll do not so frequently asked questions, and this week it'll be covering the Gears of War series. After that, Red's going to hit us up with some shout, and then we'll bring the show home for another week. Now, just quickly before we do our Game Talk segment, I just want to talk about a lovely Turtle Beach Elite 800 headset that I've got sitting just off to my right. Now, at the moment, we are running a competition, and the competition will be going for the entirety of this month, being August 2015. And the competition is very easy, and it's to win your very own headset. Now, this one here, like I said, it's right to my right here. That's the exact one that you will be winning. It is a Turtle Beach Elite 800 Gamers headset. It's the top of the range from Turtle Beach. And the entry is very simple. If you go across to our Facebook page, which is Aussie Gamers Express, like the page, find the pinned post, which is right up the top, so you shouldn't have any dramas finding it. Like the post, share the post, and comment on the post after watching the video that's on it. Comment telling us what feature with the Elite 800 what makes you want to own this headset. That's it. Just a comment, and you don't have to have War and Peace. Just a quick comment on there of why you want it, what feature is the best for you, and you're in the running. That's it. And at the end of the month, we're going to pick our favourite entries, and we'll have a little internal vote as to who the winner is. And that person will win. There's a couple of terms and conditions there. You can head across to aussiegamersexpress.com to find those terms and conditions in full. I guess the main thing is you've got to be an Australian. Well, you don't have to be Australian, but you have to have an Aussie
address.
Yeah, you got to have an Aussie postage address. Okay, it's only going to be for people with either a residential or PO box in Australia. So that's just the one catch there. But yeah, it's quite easy. So and the odds are going to be good. Red, you're the mathematician. You had some idea of what the odds are at the moment, don't you?
Yes, the odds were. I think last time I counted was 1 in 48. I think chance of winning. You know.
Yeah,
so.
there's obviously we're a bit of a tight knit community, so there's not tens of thousands of people entering. So it's going to be the odds are pretty good. And this headset, I should mention, retails $420 worth of free stuff here.
If you don't mind.
Yeah, I mean, look, by all means, don't enter. And if nobody enters, I'll keep it for myself. But unfortunately, there have been people entering already,
Right.
Which is natural. But I very much love to keep this headset for myself. But it's getting given away to one of our listeners. So that's what I just wanted to mention. That's on our Facebook page, so go and check it out and give us a like. Sorry, go.
And may the odds forever be in your favour.
Exactly. What's that from? I've heard that before.
Hunger Games.
Ah, that's right. Very good. That children's movie / book or something, isn't it?
Yes.
All right, then. Let's move on from that. We'll go through our game talk. Tell us, Red.
Plenty of COD, as per usual. Prestiged up again, so still after that Speakeasy or the Royalty ASM one, which constantly eludes me.
Is that just a gun that you'll get in a drop?
Yeah, you're getting a drop, like, you see it everywhere. Remember here a while ago, I was always banging on about the Obsidian Steed. I want the BAL, I want that. Well, I got that, and I got that about 8 Prestiges ago, so now I'm hanging out for one more gun.
So how many Prestiges have you done now?
26.
Out of, what, 30?
32.
32. I've done one.
Yeah, wicked. That's actually one more than I thought you were going to do, and I'm real well chuffed.
It's one more than that I've ever done. I've never prestiged before.
Aha! Everyone needs a bit of red in their COD life.
I only ever got to the level cap, which was 70 on Modern Warfare 2. I never prestiged, but
they were really big fucking level caps. I tell you what, the grind from 50 to 70 on those games was massive.
Yeah, but even then I can't really claim that because Reprimir or Jason, my nephew, he did a lot of the leveling up for me on that. When he would come and visit, he would sit on it and play it all night while I slept away in my nice little warm bed. But yeah, this one on Advanced Warfare, that's all me, baby.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. The clan wars and the XP boosts and stuff really help out with that.
Yeah. Also, I've probably thrown another 100 to 120 games through Rocket League this week. Got my platinum.
Nice.
So, still having lots of fun with that. As soon as the DLC comes out, they'll take my money. I've always wanted to give something back to Psionics, and what a game.
Yeah,
really.
I'll buy the DLC. Hey, I'm going to put this out there. What do you reckon? Best PS Plus game to date for the PS4?
Oh, yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, probably not the biggest release that'll ever happen, but as for the amount of time that I've gotten out of it and fun and enjoyment, that's the best PS Plus title so far. Good job on picking that one. That was tops.
Yeah, well, so the Psionics come out here a little while ago and thanked bloody PlayStation for their partnership with the release of it and everything like that, Yeah. Like, I reckon it would have done perfect on its own, and it would have got my $20 after we seen that beta stuff and you played the beta.
100%. I was ready to pay for it. Absolutely.
Because the super acrobatic rocket propelled buddy cars or whatever, the predecessor, that was a fairly unknown game.
Yeah, well, I didn't know it existed until Rocket League told us about it.
Well, that's exactly right. So they've ticked all the boxes here. We've got free DLC. I'm very interested to see, though, after playing some last night. Have you seen the screenshot for the Colosseum? And it's in that little trailer for the DLC?
Yep.
Look, it looks like it doesn't have a roof.
Well, that's what it looks like, but surely it has to have it, otherwise...
I don't know. Sometimes you hit that ball and she just fucking, when you get two people hit it head on, she just goes straight up.
Yeah, I know. And I always make the comment, geez, that would have been a while before coming back down if it didn't have a roof.
Imagine if that Colosseum doesn't have a roof. That's just going to...
Throw-ins.
Yeah, wicked.
Like in soccer.
I've played some Donald Bradman cricket this week, so at least an Australian team can get a fucking win in the cricket. Just saying. But yeah, nothing special to report there. I did do the first 6 hours or so of Dragon Ball Xenoverse that the missus picked up for me last week because I was having a bit of a sad day, so she bought it for me. So that's one way to make me happy, I guess.
That'll cheer me up too if I get a game bought by my missus. She does that for me when I'm down as well.
But as far as I watched the series a couple of times, and I'm re-watching it now with my son at the moment, introducing him to it. It's really cool to be able to take a creative player and jump straight into the storyline as well as I know it. So it was well worth the pickup for under $70. I think it was,
Can I put you on the spot?
Yeah.
Can you give me your best whatever it's called?
Next week on Dragon Ball Z.
That's what that show's like, eh? It's just constantly screaming.
Yeah, he spends 3 hours powering up.
What do they call it? Go on Super Saiyan or something?
Super Saiyan, yeah.
Super
Saiyan Red.
Yeah, it would be, if it was cyan, it would be blue, wouldn't it?
Yeah, probably. Probably. Yes, fair to say I've done my very first heist on GTA 5, and deja vu. It's not worth the 60 gig on my hard drive, especially when I don't have an upgraded hard drive.
Yeah, who'd you play that with?
Adam, Nath,
Oh yeah, it's your
uh,
mates. You played it with a
and
couple.
Ev, yeah. So
Yeah, yeah.
uh,
What? Like, I mean, what do you do? Is it just? It's just a job, isn't it? Like,
it's a 5-part job. The one we had to do, we had to go around and steal a whole heap of drugs off all the different like gangs. So you had different ways of doing it, and then use that, give that to Trevor, and he uses it to try and buy his way into or get TPI up and running. And he gave us $1 million. It's like, oh, okay.
do you keep the mill?
Yeah, you split it up amongst all 4 of you.
Oh yeah.
So I think because you got $50,000 for each level, because there was 5 setup levels and then the last main level. That was pretty hard. It was pretty fun though, because you had some unique cars. They had turrets and shit on the back, so that was a whole lot of fun having Ev on the back of that. But yeah, I think I made about 600 grand in about hour and a half's work, 2 hours.
I guess that's probably the big draw card is that you'll make a bit of good coin.
Yeah. You know what? I actually don't mind just jumping on GTA Online and just cruising around fucking with people's day.
Like other players or just anything?
Yeah.
Well,
anything, but yeah.
That's what that game is, isn't it? And the thing is as well, I guess the game's built for that, because if you don't want that, you can go into passive mode.
That's exactly right, yes.
So essentially, if you're not in passive mode, it's a license to be trolled.
Oh, she's a fuckfest, yeah. Oh. But yeah, that's probably my favourite thing to do on GTA, is just to get in there, cruise around and mess with people's day.
Yeah, well, I mean, not exactly the same, but whenever I play it, that's all I do is I just get in there and just drive around and do jumps and fuck around.
Well, it's not called Friendly Samaritan now, is it?
No, it's the title is a crime
Dead giveaway.
or a felony.
Yeah, well, yeah. I've been having a lot of success lately with indie titles, and so I thought I'd try this Limbo out. And,
Oh, yeah.
Man, I'm probably between 7 and 15 minutes, I reckon I gave it. I was just waiting for that narrator. I'm so reliant on someone to tell me a story now while I'm doing
You know
this.
what though? It's ever since its release, whenever it came out, you're the first person I've ever heard not like it.
Well, I don't dislike it. I can't get into it, if you know what I mean. Like, I appreciate the black and white, and I appreciate the spontaneous violent death.
Yeah.
That really got me. It's like, oh, that's a bear trap there. I wonder what'll happen, you know? Chonk! And your head goes rolling away, and I'm like, oh, that's pretty sick. But yeah, you got to work your problems out. Like, you can grab and pull and push and move things, and you jump up on that rope and get the weight off it with the bear trap and everything like that. Like, I appreciate the game, and I probably will finish it, because from what I've read and what I can assume, it's not the longest game in the world either.
No, I think if you're doing it for the first time and taking your time and working it out, it might be a 4-hour game.
Yeah.
4 or 5 maybe. I played this a long time ago, but it's well worth a playthrough at least.
Yeah, I just see the hardest trophy on there was play the game in one sitting, dying less than 5 times.
Yeah, well, that you'd want to be pretty cluey with
What's going on?
Yeah, that's not something you do in your first run, because there's a lot of trial and error. That's what that game is. You just progress after dying, because you learn what happens and how to get around it. It's not really something that you can just take a slow approach to and just go, I'll work this out first. Generally, you're gonna die.
Yeah. And because Nick here was the one who goes, oh no, you'll like it, Red, have a go. You know, it's got some pretty gnarly death scenes and everything in it. Like, you've got me there. So I'll try that out. So I'll report on that further, most likely next week. I'll find a quiet minute when I've got no one in the chat, and I'll just jump in and immerse myself in the black and white world again. First level of Temple of Osiris, being the PlayStation Plus game. though I do own it, but it has inspired me to put it back in case anyone out there or you guys closer to home go, come on, let's do Temple of Osiris. So that's reinstalled and still only one save file. So
Yeah, so if you want to play on your own, you have you
Yeah.
have to copy over it to start playing with someone else.
yeah.
Yeah, that sucks.
But I think with the challenge mode thing there, I think it's just encouraging you just to jump in and out and play it at each different spot or something. I don't know. Because when I restarted it, like I started the first level again, I've got all the weapons that I already had, you see. So I've already got the overpowered shotgun and I've got the rifle and I'm just buff.
Yeah.
So it's probably just encouraging you to do the same thing over and over again. I think that's why it's got the challenge modes on there with the gold, silver, and bronze. It just they get harder and harder, and you just jump in with someone, or you keep going back and retrying different things. So I don't think it's an actual start to finish sort of a game. It's a bit of a jumbledy mess, if you will.
Yeah, it's a brilliant game. It's a shame I haven't finished it because I do really like it. It's just in today's sort of climate, I've got so much to go through that sometimes those smaller games get a little bit washed out because there's so much other stuff to play.
Well, we own it, so we don't have to feel the stress of, well, we've got to get it this month and play it this month so we can get it off our hard drive sort of thing. So
Yeah, it's a rainy day game for me as well. I'll come back to it one day when I'm struggling for something to play.
I haven't played it this week, but I've got an itch, and I think the itch was due to the Games of Gold announcement last week that was on the show and on the page, How to Survive, the Storm Warning Edition.
Yep.
So I've re-downloaded that. So open invitation to anyone out there listening. If you want to have a game with Luke and I, we're going to have a game sometime throughout the next week or so. Try and get a couple of hours streaming in just for a bit of old zombie action.
Nice. And that's a good survival game, that one. Like it
is actually.
It's not piss easy and you need to work together.
And you got to think about it. It's like, oh, do I use this material for this, or do I save it for that, or do I break it down? Yeah, no, very, very good. And just to wrap up so I don't take too long, I have a dirty little secret.
Yes, you do. Tell us about your dirty, disgusting secret.
You and I done something dirty in the corner. I played the Xbox.
Oh, Red!
Yes, we dusted off. I dusted off my son's Xbox 360 because he's got good taste. It doesn't get used that often. Sing. No, I take it all back. We started and completed Gears of War 1 in co-op.
Yep.
And I was on the 360 and you were on the
Xbox One.
Oh, how good is this,
Yeah.
Microsoft?
Yeah,
Winning.
that works with the Xbox One backwards compatibility because the Xbox One fully emulates an Xbox 360. It knows no better. So you can play online, multiplayer, co-op, whatever you want with your friends, even though they're still playing on an Xbox 360.
Hey, man, what a game.
Brilliant. I told you were going to love it.
She's the best part of 4 months from being a decade old.
Yeah, that's it. It's just shy of the 10-year anniversary, and it plays brilliantly. After finishing Gears Now, the first one, I'm keen to kick off Gears 2.
Yeah, well, I'm going to... big news too. I booked my flights to come to EB Expo.
Oh, yes!
So I'm going to sneak into my undies drawer, because that's where I keep it. And I'm going to steal $20 out of my spending money, and I'm going to go down and get Gears of War 2 in the next 48 hours for your next days off work.
Ooh, fantastic. Yeah, that'd be sick. Yeah, we'll play for that. Man, Gears of War 1 is great. Gears of War 2 is amazing.
Yeah, people keep saying this. They go, oh, it gets better and better. I'm like, well, I'm having so much fucking fun with this.
Yeah, it does, man. Because obviously, like typical sequel sort of nature, it gets bigger and better. Obviously, things are more epic. You get more abilities, which are really good. It's obviously graphically a little bit nicer as well because there's a couple of years between them. So everything is going to be great. That's why with these games, don't play the later ones first because it'll ruin the experience of the first one because it's not going to be anywhere near as good. But if you've got no sort of expectation, you'll play the first one and think, man, that's awesome.
Yeah, Exhibit A over here, eh?
But Also, the Ultimate Edition is coming out for the Xbox One very soon. So if you are somebody that doesn't have the trilogy on the Xbox 360, if you purchase within a time frame, I don't know what that time frame is, the Ultimate Edition for the Xbox One, you get obviously the Ultimate Edition, which is going to be look nicer, play a bit better than the original, but along with it will come all 4 original backwards compatible games to play on your Xbox One. So you'll get Gears 1, 2, 3, and Judgment, and that'll be on the backwards compatibility for the Xbox One. So if you don't have them and you've got an Xbox One, you don't have to go and splurge out and buy the old ones. You'll get all of them, the original.
$49
for $50.
At its expensive, at the most expensive, yeah.
Yeah, well, there is a more expensive one, which has got some extra bits and pieces specific to the Ultimate Edition, which is about $70.
Okay.
That's if you want. But I'll probably just go for the standard one and get all 4 of those games. That's tops.
$12.50 a game, and you know what? I'm probably going to pay that more than that just to get them for the Xbox 360 to play them.
But if you don't have an Xbox One, purchasing the Gears games now is cheap.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
It's probably safe to say that you won't pay more than $20. You won't pay more than $15 for the first one. You probably won't pay more than $20 for the second one, and probably won't pay more than $30 for the third one.
Yeah, correct. I have been checking that out because I had a look at pre-owned and new, and the second one's going for $12 pre-owned. The first one's $8. You know, so yeah. I'm gonna pick them all up pretty cheap.
Surprising they've never put out a trilogy.
Yeah, well,
and I've never played Judgment, so I'm looking forward to playing that.
Wicked. So that's my long ass week.
All right, beautiful. All right, I'll punch through my week and then we'll go into news. So, firstly, I want to talk about the Rare Replay collection that came out this week, and I obviously got my hands on a copy of that, and it's massive. It was 50 gigabytes to download, but Blast Corps, that's a Nintendo 64 game that not a lot of people know about, but I absolutely loved back in the day on the N64. And if you don't know what it is, it's essentially just a destruction game. There's a red petrol tanker that's driving in a straight line because it's as volatile as all hell. For some reason, it can't steer, otherwise shit will blow up. So you've got to destroy the buildings and obstacles in its way using a plethora of different vehicles, from trucks to cars to robots to whatever. There's a whole heap of different vehicles that you can use. Some levels will make you use just the one. Some levels will have different vehicles within the level that you can drive up to, and GTA style, you get out, your little green man, and you can run up to the different vehicles and jump into them and change up and destroy the buildings and all that sort of stuff. So that's a fun game. Also played Banjo-Kazooie. It's another Nintendo 64 game which was remade for the Xbox 360. That plays well. It's still got the same issues that it had back in when it was out the first time with the camera angles. Because back in the Nintendo 64 days, they only had the single stick. The camera controls were using 4 buttons, the yellow C buttons.
Yep.
They've changed it. Back in the day, you would press one of the C buttons and it would swing around a certain amount. Whereas now they've changed it so you can have full reign of just moving it around, but it still doesn't move around as good as a modern day camera control. So it's very hard, and especially being a platformer, it's hard to see where you need to jump to in some occasions because of the camera, and it makes it a bit hard. But I mean, it's no worse than originally. It is better, so that plays good. I played, and I'd never played it before, but there's a game called Jetpack. Man, that's a totally retro game. That's in the true sense of a typical Commodore 64 graphics. That one. And there's a few of the games like it. No, there's not, and it's surprising because it is actually a pretty good game. It's just your one screener, but you've just got to fly around in your jetpack to all the different platforms to pick up the different parts of the rocket ship. You build the rocket ship, you jump in it, and you fly off to the next level. It's one of those games. I don't think there's an in-depth story to it. There's no real probably no ending. It's just sort of one of those score chase kind of games, but that's pretty cool. I did play a little bit of Perfect Dark as well.
Nice.
And in old school fashion, it's a bit tricky because there's no objective markers. It's just an objective that says do this, and you've got to work out where that is. And nothing pops up on the screen. Today we're babied. We're spoon-fed what to do massively. It makes us bad gamers because in games like this where it'll say find the document blah blah blah, and there's no direction, you don't know where that document is. Even if you're in the same room as that thing, nothing pops up saying here it is, this thing. You literally just need to walk around and kill everything until you find out where you need to go. But yeah, Perfect Dark's a good game. I think I want to play through that. It's obviously made by the same people that made 007 GoldenEye, and you can tell it is essentially GoldenEye reskinned because the sound effects are the same, the guns are the same, everything's the same. It's the mocap, or even if they used mocap, whatever animation they used is all identical to it. So if you enjoyed that game, you'll probably enjoy the Perfect Dark games. And there's two of them. There's Perfect Dark and Perfect Dark Zero. I assume they're sequels, I guess, but I don't know. That's about all I played on that. I'll play a bit more of the Rare collection a bit later because there is 30 of the bastards to get through. So that's...
What collection? The Rare collection.
Yes, and make a mention. I put a post up on the Facebook page, but after the release of the Rare collection on the Xbox One, that now means that there are more Nintendo 64 games available on the Xbox One than there are available on the Wii U. That's terrible. It's only one more. I think the Wii U's got 6 and the Xbox One has 7 now. But what are Nintendo doing? Why don't Nintendo release these games? They're Nintendo games. They should be on there. But anyway, that's the way it is, and maybe Nintendo will eventually pull their finger out and give the Nintendo fans what they want. But there you go.
Did you ever play the Mega Drive collection?
Maybe.
It had like Golden Axe, it had Sonic, Streets of Rage, Echo.
I think I have that on Steam.
Yeah, I played a fair bit of it actually. I played a lot with my son. It had like Shinobi, Beast and something.
Altered Beast?
Altered Beast, yeah.
Yeah, good.
Because I was just about to say, would you rate this Rare collection higher than that? But I'm just saying, well, what was the Mega Drive? Was that a 32-bit?
No, 16.
16-bit, yeah. And most of these games that you're playing at the moment are 64-bit or retro.
Yeah. Some of them are. Yeah, they're like very, very.
Well, I see that's Killer Instinct Gold. That's from the SNES, yeah?
No, Killer Instinct Gold was Nintendo 64.
64, yeah, because I've got Killer Instinct, the original, on my Super Nintendo. That's right. I got the Super Nintendo.
Awesome! That's the one.
Remember that time I sat there and I was just playing it because I couldn't think of anything to play on the PlayStation. We just sat there for hours and I just finished Mortal Kombat 3 and Killer Instinct in the one sitting.
Yeah. Yeah, that's one of the minimal consoles that I never owned, was the Super NES.
Well, my mum and dad never bought me one, so I had to buy myself one when I was in my 20s.
But yeah, I never had one of them. Not even at one stage. That's a shame. But my mate had one. I had the Mega Drive. So I had the...
yeah, I had the Mega Drive and the Sega Master System.
The competition. That was when Sega was good competition.
Yeah, tell me about it.
All right, I'll move on. We played Gears of War. So I played it on the Xbox One, but played the 360 version. We've sort of covered that, so I'll move on a bit of Rocket League as well. Cheers to Curves for playing with us, and also the other guys as well. Good on you. That was good fun, playing that. We for about 2.5 hours the other night. That was good. What are you laughing at now?
Oh, you just play. You play that game. You can play that game for ages, and sometimes you just play it until you get that bored that you just sit in the goal square and do donuts. And stuff. I've had enough Rocket League for now.
Just talking about it, I'm keen on actually playing some after the podcast.
Yeah, keen.
Into that. I'll talk about it now. Velocibox. I played that. I played that as well. Repremier Jason is an admin for the page. He actually reviewed it, so kudos to him. And it's actually a really good review. So I would recommend heading over to aussiegamersexpress.com. Check out his review. It's quite humorous. It's funny. It's well written. It'll make you laugh. It made me laugh out loud, and that's not something that's easy to achieve when I'm reading things. But that's quite good. Now, look, I played it, and this is what I have to say about Velocibox. That game's a cunt.
Right.
It is not friendly whatsoever. Now, I've got to also add to that, Velocibox is not a bad game. It's not horribly made, but it's made very, very tough. Essentially what it is, I guess it's a action, not action, what would you call it? Like a puzzler, hardcore puzzle game. No, not even puzzler.
Yeah.
What would you call it? It's a Twitch reaction game.
Yeah.
You're a cube and you slide along a corridor and you've got to avoid obstacles and collect these other cubes. And I didn't get past the first level. I think the most I picked up was about 4 of those cubes, and you just keep running into stuff and get sent back to the beginning. It's a score chaser, and it's really for hardcore score chaser gamers, because it's really hard. It's not friendly. It doesn't start off slow and build itself up to really hard. It starts off hard, bullshit hard. Yeah. So, I mean, I don't want to turn people off buying it. If you like games that sound like that, by all means, it'll be a good play, because it is a good looking game and plays well. But for me, I can't get more than 5 minutes out of it before I've got the shits and can't play it anymore. So well done to the developers. You made a real good game that'll really have a niche following.
Right.
It'll have a small little knit group that will absolutely love it and keep playing it and post videos on their high scores and stuff like that. Not for me. And it won't be for the masses. Whatever it is and whatever you call it, it is a good version of it, but it's definitely not for me. All right, I'll move on from that before I start raging, saying the name. Played a little bit of WWE 2K15, so I purchased that because it's $31 at the moment on special on the PlayStation Store on PS4. It downloaded the first section, which was playable, and the rest of the game will probably be ready to play in about 99 plus hours. That's what the PlayStation tells me, because their servers are garbage and getting worse and worse by the week. It's terrible.
Shit.
It's a shame because the playable bit, I've never played any of these games before, so I don't know the controls, so I'm not familiar with them at all. And the little playable bit that it downloads first doesn't have any tutorials or anything. It's got about 6 players to choose from, which was pretty cool.
Yeah.
And I just got my ass whooped every time. So
it looks good though, doesn't it? It
looks great. It is a really good looking game. The animations are nice. The actual character models look really good. I mean, I am staring at half-naked dudes, so that really doesn't do... Are there any female characters?
Yeah.
All right. Nice. I've got to check those out. Because the character models are really good. But, yeah, I've just got buff dudes. I'm like, yeah, that's... Can you get different outfits to clothe them a little more?
Yeah, well, what you'll find, part of your tutorial will be creating your own dude, and then you make their move lists, and then it's got all it does get real in depth if you want it to, or you can just pick from a list like I did, and that'll teach you how to do it and everything like that. And then you can put clothes on them.
Nice.
You can make Spider-Man if you want.
Nice. Yeah, but I'll make my own character. That'll be cool.
Yeah, absolutely. But for $31, I should say real quickly, you get a whole lot of game. You know, it's not just go in, pick your match type, which there's probably about 30 different match types you can pick up with variations on the same match here and there. But the full career from NXT, which is the WWE's reality TV show where people get a crack at making it into the WWE and everything like that. And then you got your challenge modes and everything like that. So I think for $31, that's winning. That's a whole lot of game for $31.
Yeah, well, I mean, I've never played them before, but I really want to get into 2K16, the new one that comes out later this year. But I'm just not sure if I'm going to like it. So I thought, what I'll do for $31, I'll buy it, play this one, and surely it's going to be fairly similar. And if I'm not into it, then I won't waste my money on 2K16. And if I love it, well, then I'll splurge and get the new one as well.
Oh, fuck, if you get the new one, that means I'm getting the new one.
Oh, well, we'll see how we go. But, look, I think I'll like it. From the little bit that I did play of the little playable part that downloaded, it looks good, and I think it'll be a bit of fun. And I'll play you as well, which will be fun, playing it against your actual mates.
Yeah.
You'll have to run me through it and teach me some stuff.
Yeah, I'll reinstall.
All right, I'll move on. I got a thing called Google Cardboard virtual reality headset. Now, it's very bizarre. I don't even know how it came across. I don't know how I worked out that it existed. I think it just popped up in one of my my eBay searches at one stage. Now, what it is, and it comes in a flat pack. It's a cardboard little kit which you will put together, and it creates like a real small version of like an Oculus Rift, but made out of cardboard. And I put it together. Now, it probably would only take most people 10, 15 minutes to put it together. It took me nearly an hour because I'm an idiot and had no idea what I was doing. And mind you, there's no instructions to put the bastard together. So I still don't even know if I've put it together correctly, but I got it. All it is it's got little tabs, and it says the instructions are put the tabs together. So where there's a number 1, you got to put that near the number 1 on the other side, sort of thing. It's hard to explain, but there's no actual instruction. So anyway, I got it together. I downloaded the app. You need an Android device. I've got a Samsung Galaxy S4. I downloaded the app. You put the mobile phone into the little cardboard headset, and you run the app. And then using the accelerometers and the gyros in the phone, it works like an Oculus Rift, I guess, on an extreme budget, because this cardboard thing cost $10. I put it together. It works quite nicely. It works really well. The only problem is I may have put this thing together wrong, because, like I said, the lack of instructions. But it tells you on screen to tap the button, and I don't know what button it's talking about. And to get to the screen, to tap the screen, I need to take the headset off and stick my finger in through the nose hole.
Just use your nose.
Yeah, so it's really awkward to use. I no doubt think that I've done something wrong, but I don't know. I don't know how to get around it. And I think I spent maybe, not including the time it took me to put the thing together, I probably spent about 15 minutes on it. And that's about as all I'm going to use that for. It's pretty dumb.
But no regrets.
No regrets. It was only $10. So it's absolutely worth the $10 for a bit of fun. I'll get you to have a crack at it when you get to Sydney in October. So that'll be a bit of fun for you to muck around with. Maybe you can work out how to use it a bit better.
I wouldn't put a whole lot of weight in my ability to work shit out.
I don't know.
It would have taken me 40 minutes to put it together, 30 minutes to swallow me pride, and 10 minutes for me son to do it.
Yeah, that's it. That's what I should have done. Should have given it to my daughter to work out. She would have done it in no time.
Excuse me.
All right, well, that pretty much covers my week. Well, actually, do you want me to talk about King's Quest?
Oh, you can if you want, man.
Yeah, let's have a talk about that. I played King's Quest this week as well. That's I think that's out on Xbox One and PlayStation 4. Might be on PC as well.
Yep.
Now, it's kind of like not a remake, but it's more like a prequel, I guess, to the original games. I think it first came out in the 80s sometimes. Sometime King's Quest might have been on early PCs or an Amiga or Commodore 64, I don't know. But there's a real old version of it. I've done a review on aussiegamersexpress.com, so you can check that out as well. But essentially what it is, it's kind of like a Telltale game, but with a lot more gameplay. So it's heavily narrative based, so it's a lot to do with a story. But it's kind of like a point and click adventure, but you control the character. Like, you move around and you have to go and look at things and pick them up, and and all that sort of stuff. So it's quite a good. It's well made. The story is good, and the gameplay is really fun, especially when it cuts to first person mode and you use the bow and arrow. That's pretty cool, and sort of creates some real fast paced like moments in the game. It's really good. But I must say as well, it got real frustrating. I didn't finish it. It's episodic, so I would probably imagine there's about 2 to 3 hours of gameplay per episode. I think there's 5 of them. And it's the compounding of the things that you need to do that sort of hurts it a bit for me, where you'll get to a point where the gameplay really slows down because it'll make you do things for people. And the example that I used in my review is there's a pumpkin that I need to get, but I can't get the pumpkin because it's covered in squirrels, and I can't remove the squirrels until I go get something else. And to get that something else, I have to go do something else. But then to get that, I have to do something else and something else and something else. And it just compounds, and it just becomes never ending. And it's just like, oh, look, I understand a couple of things that you need to do to get something done, but it gets frustrating. You're like, far out. It's a pumpkin covered in squirrels. Just pick the fucking thing up. They're just squirrels. They're not going to eat you.
2 steps back.
Yeah, that's right. You go, yes, I've got this part. And then, yeah, exactly, Red. 1 step forward, 2 steps back. That's what it feels like. And it punishes the gamer, I think. It's counterproductive. That's the frustrating part of it. But look, if you're a patient gamer and like those kinds of things, it is a good game. And it seems like a good story. What it is, King's Quest focuses on the king, but this being a prequel style, you're not a king yet. No. Well, you are, but you're an old king telling the story to Gwendolyn, who's your granddaughter. Yeah. Of how you led up to become the king. So it's all sort of telling stories, and it
playing
works.
Memories, yeah. Yeah,
you're playing memories. That's right. It's quite good. It is a good game, but yeah, in my age, I guess I'm a bit more impatient these days, and I want a game like that to flow a little better. And it just slows down a lot when you've got to do this, to do this, to do this, to do this sort of thing. But yeah, I give it good marks though. It works really well. It looks good. The characters are fun. It's got
a Disney pop to it.
Yeah, it is. It does. It definitely feels a bit Disney, and it's not serious, but
people take it seriously. There's a cult following out there. Niche, if you will, twice in a show.
Oh, well, yeah, for you, not me. But no, I definitely can't say it's a bad game. All right, but that's all I got on that one. So, and
just real quickly, you were right. But just 2 facts for you. Sure. 1984 was its initial release for its first game, and you said something about Telltales.
Yep.
Telltales worked with Activision on the 9th installment of it, but it never actually made the shelves.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it was canned.
Now, 1984, you said was the release. I think, from when I was doing my review, I think you'll find 1983 was the original, but it was re-released for some reason with a new subtitle, because it's like King's Quest. A night to remember. Oh no, that's the new one. Night to remember.
Oh, Wizard and Princess.
Yeah, it's got a subtitle to it, which wasn't on the original, and it was re-released later with it, without any changes to game for some reason, which was probably the 84 release. But
I get you. I see it here on the wiki. Yeah, because in 1980 there was a game called Wizard and Princess.
Yeah.
And then 1983, 84, that became the King's Quest.
Yeah.
Games. Yeah, they pick up the King's Quest name, and then everything had a name after it.
Yeah, so this is something like that. But if you want to check out your wikis or have a look at the review on AussieGamersExpress.com, thank you very much.
Yeah,
now,
check it out there.
We'll move on to the news. Okay, first in the news, somebody has finished Fallout 3 as a baby. Now, I've played a little bit of Fallout 3, enough to know that you do start off the game being born in the Vault 101, and after a couple of things you progress into a toddler, and that's where, as a toddler, you're in this little playpen, and you open the playpen, you walk out, and you pick up a little kiddie book, and that's where you select all your statistics and all your abilities and stuff like that. And then shortly after that, your dad walks in, also known as, what's his name?
Liam Neeson.
Liam Neeson walks in the door into the room you're into. Apparently, and I haven't tried this, but apparently there's a bit of a bug in the game where if you just run towards the door when your old man walks in, you can actually go through the door past him, which you're not meant to be able to do, which kind of bugs the game out, and you can continue the rest of the game as a 2-foot tall toddler. And I'd imagine you just go and do the rest as normal as a toddler. And this player, Brian Pierre, has managed to complete an entire playthrough of Fallout 4 as a toddler, as a baby. And it sounds like it was quite a task. It was pretty hard because you can't run very fast. You can't run away from enemies when you're getting attacked because you're slow. And your Pip-Boy doesn't work properly because the game's not designed to be played in that mode. You're supposed to grow up to an adult. But what he's done, Brian Pierre, has made his own mod to make the Pip-Boy work. You'll also struggle when you try to swim because it's not programmed that way. And but there is a bit of a perk because you're really small. You can run in between your enemy's legs. And it takes ages to get from A to B because your movement speed is like a quarter because you're only little legs. But the funny thing is, though, it was actually discovered because you can break the game a bit and go into third-person mode, which you can't do when you're a baby. It's not actually a toddler. You're not actually a baby. You're actually just a shrunken-down version of the full-grown adult, which looks quite humorous if you have a look at it. But yeah, I don't know how long it took, but there's a full playthrough as a baby on YouTube. If you're that keen, look it up. But good work to Brian Pierre, because I reckon most people, including myself, had found that little bug, I would have played it for a couple of minutes, went, haha, that's funny, start again. This guy busted out the entire game playing as a baby.
Fuck that.
Oh, and because you are still the baby, when you talk, it still goes, Dada, Dada, even though you're brandishing guns. So you can still use guns. Crazy
Most
talk.
important part.
There you go, but that happened during the week. All right, Red, give us some news.
Well, we're talking about Fallout, so I may as well continue the trend. So it seems in Fallout 4, there's no level cap and no fixed ending. Nothing where roll credits, game over, new game plus, start again, do everything you've already done. It seems that you're able to finish the main story. I'm going to put it out there and say main story missions to side mission campaign missions are going to be a 1 to 100 ratio. There's just going to be a million things for you to do. But so when it comes out, obviously November 10, it's said here you can play until the death of the universe if desired. So having no level caps and no full stop at the end of the story, you can just keep going along, earning XP, getting all your abilities, your traits, your perks and everything, and just play the game for its entirety. And yeah, maybe one day get on a leaderboard and be level 38,000 in Fallout 4. Probably won't put that much time into it myself, but yeah. What do you reckon?
I reckon this would be good, but it needs a co-op ability.
No,
It needs a co-op setting. Because, and look, other games before have done it where, look, I understand if they wanted it to be a single player thing and they made it that way. But like in Watch Dogs,
Yeah,
make it so if you do go into co-op, it'll just turn off the single player mission. So all the mission markers disappear, and you can just roam around the wastelands together, looting shit, going into caves, killing animals, leveling up, having a bit of fun with your mates. And then when they drop out, you can go back to the single player missions again. but surely they can retrofit that. I want them to do something like that. That's the one thing that will probably keep the game alive for me.
Yeah, exactly. You'd almost expect there to be mods within the first 6 months on the PC for something like that also, wouldn't you?
Yeah, which is the...
Oh, well, they're modding console. You can bring mods across the console.
Xbox One have announced that, the PC mods will be compatible on the Xbox One. And Bethesda will do the exact same thing for PlayStation as long as Sony agree to it. I haven't heard anything yet that they have or haven't.
Fucking oath, they've got a good 6 months to impress me, PlayStation, or I'm getting an Xbox 2.
Xbox as well, or are you going to wait for the Xbox 2?
Nah, the second one.
The second one.
No, I want an Xbox One too.
Xbox 12?
It's this fucking money thing.
Yeah. Well,
So-
look, after you play a bit of Xbox 360 this week and you're on board.
Yeah, I'm severely on board, but that's
You'd be horrible to go to war with. You'd be in the trenches and you'd see the other team and have the enemy would have a sick weapon and you'd be like, see us!
fucking catcher. That's a nice set of tyres. Pop.
I'm jumping ship.
In-house jokes. So yeah, you can play Fallout 4 for as long as you want, and I'm sure that's going to be good news to a lot of people because there's still people out there, as you said earlier, that dude that done it as a baby. He's obviously finished the game 20 or 30 times, you know.
Surely the game has to have some sort of story ending, though.
Yeah, there'll be a story ending, but no,
Not game ending.
Fair to say, yeah, not game ending. Civilization isn't going to be brought back to its bloody former self by the end of the game.
Spoiler alert, your character mustn't die.
Moving on.
Oh, my turn.
Yeah.
No
Sean,
more.
Sean.
Yeah, Sean, where are you, buddy? Oh, I forgot to mention he's not on this week's show. He's too busy touching himself. Yes, next news item. No more DinkleBot. If you're unsure who DinkleBot is, that's the affectionate term that the Aussie Gamers boys have given to the ghost in Destiny. So DinkleBot, deploy Dinklage. You'll no longer be able to say that, deploy Dinklage, because when facing locked doors or terminals that you need to hack with a wave defense thing going on, it's not going to be DinkleBot anymore. It's going to be NolanBot.
NolanBot. We'll have to come up with
Northbot. DirectionBot. Whatever. But Bungie have confirmed that Peter Dinklage has been removed from the Destiny voice cast and been replaced with Nolan North, who's famous for Nathan Drake and also many, many others. So the new expansion, The Taken King, will see the new guy, Nolan North, taking on the voice skills of the little robot guy that helps you out. But that's not where it ends, because Bungie are re-recording the entire game's dialogue with Ghost and replacing it all. So I'd imagine it would probably kick off when The Taken King comes out, but Peter Dinklage won't be in the game at all. So they're re-recording it all. They're leaving all of the dialogue as it is, so nothing's going to change, but it's all going to be re-recorded by Nolan North. And they've told Nolan that you go nuts with it. You're the professional. You do whatever voice that you think is necessary for this character to work. And Nolan has responded by saying, I don't want to hear any of the old work. I will make up my own mind and work it out myself.
It's below him. Well, his knees anyway.
Well, he doesn't want any prerequisites in the back.
What
of
would
his
you?
mind.
Exactly.
Well,
They say he's a professional, and as they say, and he does a good job. He's up there with the likes of, what's that dude's name? You love him, Troy Baker.
Troy Baker.
You know, we're pretty well-known names when it comes to voice acting.
Yeah, and
you're letting go ham.
That's what the directors generally do with when you've got a good actor, a good voice actor. You leave it up to them. They don't direct it. They don't say, "Oh, can you give us a bit more of this for this?" They leave it up to them, and they generally do a spot-on job getting the voices right. So this will be plenty for me to put Destiny back into the console and try it, because I really want to know how he goes. I'm a big fan of Nolan North and all his acting, his voice acting. I still think that to date, the best one that he's done is David from The Last of Us.
Yep.
And a lot of people probably don't even realise that it's him. I never realised when in my first playthrough that David was Nolan North doing the voice, because it doesn't sound like him. He changes his voice. And that's the sign of a good voice actor. If you can play a game and listen to the voice and you think that that voice belongs to that character and you don't recognise who the voice is, that's a well-done voiceover. That's tops.
Yeah. Well, we didn't recognize... Oh, well, I didn't recognise... I forget his name every time. Troy Baker, in the Batman game. Recently just gone. I didn't recognise his voice from Joel or Delson.
Oh, I probably need to correct myself. Who was he in the Batman game, the latest one?
He was Penguin and Two-Face.
Oh, correct. Yeah, no, okay. Because I think I'm not sure if it was on a podcast or just in us discussing. I thought that he was still doing the Joker. But he didn't. Yeah, that was Mark Hamill again came back for the Joker in Arkham Knight. But yes, you're right. He's done that through the whole series. Nolan North did. Sorry. Are you talking about Nolan North? I've got to be.
No. Sorry. Troy Baker.
Troy Baker didn't do the Penguin.
He didn't. There's a Nolan North, was it?
That was Nolan North. Yeah.
There you go. Yep.
But he changes his voice so well. But all right. Okay, we can move on now. I guess we've made a meal of that, so people are probably confused. If you can work it out, well done. I'll give you a free game. Go Red.
So with Gamescom, the 2015 that's just passed, they've brought out a whole lot of goodness for us to feast our eyes upon, and one of my most favourite ones was the Mafia 3 reveal trailer, because it kind of hit really quickly. 2K being the publisher and everything, they've really ramped up probably over the last 3 weeks, and like, oh, Mafia 3 coming, and we got our first look at it with a CG trailer. It wasn't gameplay, obviously, but it looks awesome. You know,
it's a nice CG trailer.
Very, very, very nice. And it's developed by a new studio. They're called Hangar 13. And this sequel moves away from its predecessor's northeastern settings for a more southern fried feeling. And players take the role of Lincoln Clay, a disenfranchised African-American Vietnam veteran who finds family in New Orleans' black mob. And that's the name of them. I'm not being racist. The story involves a mission of revenge against the Italian Mafia, and we'll see Lincoln building a crime empire of his own, which has really been a staple of any gang/mob related game, being Godfather, Scarface, Mafia 2 even. So it's set in the year that Martin Luther King Jr. was assassinated, and I know before you're going to ask, I've googled it. It's 1968. Didn't need to Google it because it's actually in the heading of the news item that I'm reading.
There you go.
But yeah, so it's coming out 2016. Obviously, that's as close as release date anyone's got at the moment. And it has moment-to-moment gameplay that will feature third-person shooting, driving, stealth, and a branching narrative structure responsive to player choice. So...
yeah, Mafia 3 will be a good game. That'll be worth playing.
Yeah, man. It's another open world, third person, bloody fuckfest. Love it.
But those games as well, like I played Mafia 2, and it has a way to just get you into the story.
It does, huh? And it's real. I remember when you had to, what do they call it? When you extort people. And you just rough them up and you grab them and you just lay the knuckles in, you know. It's a different brand of violence, I feel. Yeah,
it's a good fighting mechanic that they had in the game. It kind of reminds me a bit of the fighting from Uncharted.
Yes.
It's well sort of well animated. That was in Mafia 2, so Mafia 3 will be fantastic, I'd imagine.
It's very gritty. It has that mobster mafia feel because
it's very underbelly.
It's violent passion, passionate violence or violence of passion, whatever they call it. But yeah, it's I'm super stoked. I can't wait. I loved 1, 2, Godfather, Scarface. I really dig at least the first playthrough of nearly every third-person sandbox game made. So bring it on.
Awesome. All right, we'll move on.
Yeah, man.
All right, my last bit of news is Vote to Play is coming soon for PlayStation Plus members. I'm excited for this because it's very similar to what Steam does when they've got their sale on, where it gives you the option to choose what you want to be on the next flash sale for the next day.
Yep.
And so PlayStation Plus members will soon be able to vote for the free games every month. This has been confirmed via the PlayStation blog, so from the horse's mouth. And it says here, I've got a little bit of a quote. The game with the most votes will automatically be included in our future free game lineup for PlayStation Plus. If your pick didn't make the lineup, don't worry. In the first promotion, PlayStation Plus members can get the runners-up at a discount. So anything that doesn't, like if you pick Game B and Game A wins, that Game B will be on special. It'll be discounted for PS Plus subscribers, which is pretty cool. We love to listen to our fans, and we're super excited to launch this promotion. We'll have more details for you soon when the voting begins, and what titles will be up for voting, and how you can cast your vote. Now, with that, I really do hope that the voting is going to be done on the console.
Yeah, in the store.
I can't imagine me bothering too often if I have to go to a PC or something like that. If it's on the store, on the console, I reckon they'll get the most amount of votes that way. So hopefully that's how it works.
Yeah, well, it's funny that PlayStation actually don't have like their own app for your XMB where you go in and it's got their PlayStation blog and it's got your PS Plus subscription details and everything sort of like that, you know, where you could just go in and vote.
Yeah, well, the PlayStation app that does exist sucks balls. It's terrible.
Oh, yeah.
Xbox Smart Glass, fantastic.
Yeah.
Brilliant. It works really well. PlayStation don't do that real well yet. Xbox is catching up, man. They failed miserably, and they're making up for it. They're making ground.
Yeah, well, PlayStation saying they listen to their fans. How fucking loud do I need to yell?
That's the original. The fans on the Xbox that you're using. That's the original first design, isn't it?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. My one was so loud and stupid. But the new one that I've got the slim one. It's the second one that they made. There is a newer one than the one I've got, but that's whisper quiet. You don't hear it.
Yeah. Also, my children have looked after, well, I use that term loosely, looked after this one.
Yeah, that's it. Kids, man, they don't care.
Ah, nah. They're there to be played, though.
Yep, all good, man. All right, give us your news.
All right, so I've got Microsoft news. Wow, get used to it, people. I am in love or lust. I don't care, as long as I can fuck it. Here's some Microsoft news and Windows news that are for November. We're going to have some major updates to the Xbox One system software. It was announced at Gamescom 2015 officially, but the backwards compatibility that has been promised since E3 will finally land in November also. We have a blog up on our website, www.aussiegamersexpress.com, plug away, with about 30 titles that are confirmed so far, but there is slated to be over 100 Xbox 360 titles that would be playable, including the ever-popular Fallout 3, Dark Souls and Bioshock, because was there not a voting process for those also?
There is a voting process that's going at the moment.
Yeah, and also all future Xbox 360 games and gold titles will be made backwards compatible with the Xbox One. Winning,
cool.
You know, that's such a good idea. Like, I think we've touched on this when we had a conversation before about how cool would it be if the PS Plus games for the PS3, you could just whack them on your hard drive on your PS4 and play them.
Yeah.
You wouldn't have to change. Microsoft are just creating a way to be so fucking comfortable and not having to get up and down and everything like that. But, I'll whack off later. The Xbox One system will also see a fresh new dashboard powered by Windows 10, featuring a wholly redesigned interface. And the new dashboard aims to enhance the console's multitasking speed and community features, which it already does quite well from what I've heard.
I'll tell you now, the Xbox One, when that gets the new dashboard, it fucking needs it. I hate it. I don't like the way it works. I prefer the Xbox 360.
Well, that's all I know. I only know the 361. That worked well enough for me.
Yeah,
Look, what was it the other day? I was going, oh, hang on, how do I do? Hang on a sec. Done. You know, sort of thing. I could work it out instantly. And joining a game, the little indiscreet bloody message along the bottom. LewkOne's playing Gears of War. So, me too.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, also Cortana comes full circle with the update. In case you don't know Cortana, it's like a Siri or OK Google, if you will. The little AI assistant that you have inside your devices. It'll come with the update with the Windows 10 personal assistant returning to the Xbox via Kinect voice activation. And as I was informed, Cortana was a intelligence character from Halo?
Yep, from Halo.
Ah, there we go.
The little voice in your head.
The little voice in your head going, do it. Just do it.
Yeah, well, pretty much. And she's hot. For a hologram.
For a hologram, you wicked kid. Oh. So this new software will hit in November, although some testers will receive the Windows 10 update in September. So good luck to those. Are you on that list?
I don't know about the PC, but definitely for the console, I'm on the preview. So I'll get any of the console stuff I get well in advance.
Yeah, so you'll have all this stuff going next month.
Yeah, so that's why I'm playing backwards compatible games, as we'll talk about earlier in the show with Gears of War. That's not available yet. You can't do that unless you're part of the preview program.
Ah, excellent. So
anyone listening, if you want to be part of the preview, hit me up. Send me a message on the Facebook page or send me an email, lucas@aussiegamersexpress.com. Hit me up, become my friend on the Xbox, and I'll hook you up.
Let's go. How often do you get an open invite like that?
Yeah, no, I'll help anyone out that wants it, because it's quite cool. I mean, you do get a lot more updates than everybody else, but if you like having the new stuff real quick and you want to give feedback on it, it's like being a beta tester. If you want to do that, let us know, and I'll give you an invite. It's all good. It's by invite only. It's the only way to do it.
So, well done, Microsoft, Windows, Gates, Phil Spencer, the works. They're doing a good job.
They are doing a good job.
And that's it for the news, I think.
That brings us to the end of the news. Let's go on to What's That Sound?
I think it's time we stop, children. What's that sound? Everybody look what's going down.
All right, last week's What's That Sound was Dying Light. And that was Ghazi from the side mission called Mother's Day.
Wait till Mum see this. Oh, Ghazi wins again. Hooray for Ghazi!
And it's probably one of the most memorable for me. One of the best. There's quite a few good side missions in Dying Light, and Ghazi's Mother's Day one was really good.
It was right up there.
What a nutter! So if you've got that game and you haven't played it, go and give that one a try. All right. So the winners was Rusky Big Muskie, and who was the other one? Red?
Andrew Roy.
Andrew Roy. Congratulations, you guys got it right. All right, so this week's What's That Sound? I know you're going to get this one straight away for other reasons than I think that you know the game, but have a bit of a listen. An easy one this week. What game is it?
Oh, Red Dong.
Red Dong. Steve, Red Dong. Yes, congratulations. That is correct. I'm going to ask you more specifically, what's happening in that sound clip?
That's a go.
It sure is. Well done. You do know your shit. Good job. I'll just play that again for everyone listening at home, considering we only got it the first go with Red. So there it is. If you think you know what that sound is, then send us a message on our Facebook page. It's the Aussie Gamers Express Facebook page. Look us up, like us if you haven't, send us a message. If you are correct with the game, we'll send you a free game. And it's as simple as that. Well, I guess that was a really short segment because that was easy. You didn't have need thinking time, no thinking music, nothing like that.
Dun, 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 dun.
All right, well, I guess it's now time for Not So Frequently Asked Questions.
Yay, it's quickly becoming my favourite part of the week.
All right, so yes, it is your favourite part of the week, as you love this segment. I'm glad you do. This week, as we said at the start of the show, Gears of War. All right, so the first one is Lieutenant Min Young Kim from the original Gears of War was originally written as a female character.
Shakara.
It doesn't really matter because no spoilers. Next one, Dominic Santiago was also going to be playable as either Dominic or Dominique, depending on the gender that you chose. So Dom was going to be a female character too, but it was going to be a choice. It could have been a bit, the dynamic could have been a bit different if it was a female. I would have been trying to bang her.
Yeah.
But anyway, so it was originally intended to have females in Gears of War as early as the original, but that didn't happen until the third game where they actually had female Gears of War characters. So there you go. There's a couple of gender changes in there for the first two ones there. Up to the third one here for Not So Frequently Asked Question. Gears of War was originally going to be a large-scale vehicle-based multiplayer-focused battlefield-style game. That's a long sentence.
Oh, wow. That would have been fun.
Yeah, I think it would have been okay, but I'm glad we got what we got because it is an awesome game, and there's other areas where they can make a game like that. But this idea was eventually abandoned for the more fleshed-out cover-based shooter that we know today. The original idea was later used for Unreal Tournament 3, so they used that sort of open area sort of thing there. I don't know if there's vehicles or not, but it wasn't scrapped entirely. And the next one, moving right along for Not So Frequently Asked Questions, is the famous voice actors in the game. This happens a fair bit. Now, these guys probably, you might not recognise them or not notice the voices that they do, but Marcus Phoenix, the main character that you play as, is voiced by John DiMaggio. Not to be mixed up with Joe DiMaggio. He's a baseball player.
Joe DiMaggio. That name rings a bell, though.
John DiMaggio? Yeah, well, John DiMaggio is also the voice of Bender from the Futurama TV series.
Oh, well, that makes sense.
Yeah, so quite different, but still, yeah, same guy. That's pretty cool. Also, Dom is voiced by Carlos Ferro, who has also voiced Leonardo da Vinci in Assassin's Creed 2. Now, they're very different characters too, because I'm pretty sure Leonardo da Vinci in Assassin's Creed 2 was a homo.
Jesus.
I was trying to think trying to think of the right way to say that, and homo was the best I could think of.
Fudge puncher.
Yeah, whereas Dom is quite the opposite. He's a big, macho, manly man that I don't think he has sex with men. But there you go. So
I reckon Leonardo da Vinci would have liked to have met Dom.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, rip me a new one, Dom. Rip me a new one. I don't have the notes down here, but I think Augustus Cole, so the Cole train, I think he was voiced by an actual ex-NFL star. I'm not 100% sure on that one. But that just popped into my head. Because in the Gears of War games, the Cole train is an ex-NFL star. And I think the voice actor actually was, but I don't know if that's true or not. Next one. This is a bit of a Easter egg red that we'll have to check out when we do finally play Gears of War 2. But in Gears 2, the single-player campaign level called The Best Laid Plans, there's a series of pillars at the top of a set of spiral stairs, and if you destroy the middle pillar, you'll find a locust toaster. So it's all designed with all the locust design and all the stuff on it. It looks pretty cool. And it's actually a toaster that you can use. You can turn it on and it makes toast. And if you stand near it long enough and keep quiet, Dom and Marcus will have a bit of a conversation about it. So that's pretty neat. That's a cool little hidden Easter egg in the game. And we'll go on to the last one, which is location. Gears of War takes place on the planet Serra. And if you spell that backwards, it spells what, Red?
Oh, I'm putting it on the spot. There's too many letters. Ares. God of War.
Ares, who is the Greek god of war. Which is quite fitting for the title of the game, but there you go. That was interesting. That was a quite neat little touch to put in there, and maybe not a lot of people know that. But Gears of War doesn't take place on Earth. It's on another planet called Serra. And that's got a little bit of a little hidden meaning to it, which was pretty cool by the developers there. So Gears of War. You've done that before in another time, haven't you?
I have.
Yeah, it's catchy. Gears of War is an awesome series, and there's just a couple of little tidbits there that show that there's a couple of little hidden things that make the game also all the better. Wonderful. But that's the end of Not So Frequently Asked Questions for this week. And that brings us to time for Red to tell us all about this week's shout.
First and foremost, Red Premiere, welcome to the reviewing fold, if you will. We've touched on the Velocibox review, and I thought it needed a special mention because there was a lot of tongue-in-cheek, and as Luke said, it made him chuckle. Well, I bellowed. I thought it was quite humorous, and it gives us a full spectrum of reviewers now. So you got your serious, your hard-hitting, your honest. Well, not that his review wasn't honest, but it's just the way it was portrayed. It was absolutely hilarious. So very chuffed to have that full circle of talent amongst us all now, and there's something for every taste. So get across, check it out. Next, Daniel Ray. Thanks for joining us on Twitch the other night, mate. We were playing some Rocket League, and you've left a few comments on the page over the last couple of days referring to that, and we had a whole lot of fun, and we're just glad we can share it with the likes of yourself and everyone else that comes along and checks it out. So thank you very much. Rusky Big Muskie and Ross Mark, both under the same umbrella, always there, always strong, having an opinion, creating conversation where there sometimes isn't any in the comment boxes, if not just for a like, but also we'd love to say good day and feel the full support. We know you're listening, and we do very much appreciate it. And the last one, of course, because we've touched on this Turtle Beach headset and everything, and so back in 2012, oh wow, this is going to go back to a news item. Luke said, "I have a dream," so he put the foot down on the accelerator, and a few years on, look at us now. We're giving away headsets in the vicinity of a mortgage, and we're bringing news up to date with a perfectly edited podcast, and all the spelling and the grammar and everything on the page is all perfect because we're under the careful, watchful and caring eye of Luke. And
the grammar Nazi.
Yeah, we appreciate it, mate. You bring us motley crew together, and it can't be an easy task. I don't know how you manage me as well as everyone else, let alone just myself.
The grey hairs are coming in, but it's all good.
I reckon, man. But there's got to be something there that you see that it's all worth it, and fuck yeah, we're reviewing games. We're getting a little bit of a notoriety here and there. We're on the 4K hype. We're under 100 likes from 4,000, and
yeah,
and that'll soon to be the biggest gaming related Facebook page in Australia. I'm keeping a close eye on that, so very chuffed, very proud to be part of it. But none of us would be here. None of you guys would be listening to it if it wasn't for Luke. So a big shout out goes to you, mate. And yeah, wicked. This show has just the podcast has come in leaps and bounds in the last 2 or 3 months, implementing new segments and getting more people involved. So kudos and well done to you, buddy.
Nice, thank you very much, Red. I appreciate those kind words. You're a good man, and you've definitely made your own successes with Aussie Gamers Express. You've earned your position on the podcast, and as well as the administration team. So, thank you to you as well. Good job.
Wicked.
All right, I guess that does bring us to the end of the show. Just quickly, we'll just recap as we've just mentioned the Turtle Beach Elite 800 headset. That's up for grabs on the Facebook page. So go across to Aussie Games Express on Facebook and follow the instructions on the pinned post. It's right up the top. You shouldn't miss it. And follow those instructions on how to enter the competition, and you'll win. The competition ends on the 31st of August, which is this month, 2015, and then there will be a winner announced. So get writing your little entries. Right, now we'll just... we're finished for this week. So take this opportunity to head over to our Facebook page and give us a like. That's part of the requirements for the headset, so you need to do that anyway. You can subscribe to this podcast on iTunes, Stitcher, and TuneIn Radio. And you can also go to the website, which is linked to our Facebook page as well. You can follow us on Twitter at AussieGamers12. Twitch TV, we've got Aussie Gamers TV. Now, heads up, twitch.com works as well, thanks to Nico telling us about that one. You can send us some snail mail by posting us to Aussie Gamers Express at PO Box 130, Cranebrook 2749. And things that you can send to us, if you've got any gaming merchandise, any games or anything that you've got laying around that you don't want anymore, maybe you might want to donate to us and we can give it away as a prize. That'll be really cool. And if you do anything like that, we'll try and sort something out to help you out as well, to give you a bit of a thank you for anything like that support. We've had a couple of people do that in the past. Thank you very much. And also you can head across to our website, which is www.aussiegamersexpress.com for our latest news, reviews and blog posts. So that's it. Good show. Thank you very much, Red. Appreciate your time and efforts.
Likewise, Cobber.
Awesome, man. Well, I guess that's it. Time for us to go play some video games. And I've been LewkOne.
I've been Red.